I'm a marine biologist and underwater videographer, and earlier in the year I teamed up with Scubaverse and Paralenz to try out the new Paralenz Vaquita camera, which is an awesome little camera packed with lots of different technologies, and it's designed for divers. So when I got a hold of it earlier in the year, I gave it a quick review. So if you haven't already checked out the review of the unboxing, please head over to the Scubaverse account on YouTube or on my account on social media, JD Scuba, to take a look at the unboxing of the Paralenz Vaquita. So over the summer then I've taken it out with me diving and tried to explore different locations and put the camera through a variety of different conditions here off the Welsh coast. And yeah, it's not the easiest place to dive. Some days you can have some amazing visibility, other days you can have some really challenging low visibility. And then there's light as well, really dark conditions quite often, but then again in the shallows they're continuously changing light. So putting that to the test with the Paralenz was one of the things that I want to try and do and see how it fared up with that. What I did really enjoy the most about the camera is its ability to capture the 4K and capture some really good quality imagery, but also the fact that it comes with a variety of different attachments. So where you can shoot using the Paralenz grip and making sure that you're in control of the camera the whole time, and it provides you to get into different crevices to shoot some of the animals or marine life that are hidden away in them. And it's just an easy pull mechanism to turn it on and use that then to switch on to different parts and push to start the video and stop. Really nice and easy to use. But if you're like myself, who often dives with a bigger camera, then using the pistol grip is a bit more challenging. So what I tended to use over the summer a bit more was the mask strap, which was a great attachment, and you don't really know it's there at all, to be honest. Even when you're turning your head, you don't feel the camera there on either. But it provides the viewer with a really good perspective of what it's like being in the water and what it's like to film underwater too. And it provides you with that bit more behind the scenes feeling that I really enjoyed using it for. But when you are using this strap, I'd recommend you not doing a lot of quick motions, because it does make the footage a bit more jittery. And so what the best way is, if you have it on, just make sure you're doing very slow movements, especially if you want to do a pano view of what it's like. Just turn your head very slowly to do these ones, because it can capture the motion a bit too much. But saying that, it was really good to use, and again, I really like the view it gives the viewer by being on the strap and being in your head. The other attachment that I use quite often during the summer is the ball mount attachment, and this is because I can easily put it onto the camera rig itself, so then that can capture what the camera's capturing, or a wider version of what the camera's capturing, or even better, if you turn it around, then you can actually have it facing you, so it kind of captures what it's like, again, me or the diver themselves capturing the footage. And again, really enjoyed that part of it, because it just provides a viewer with a different feeling of what it's like to dive or do some videography. But again, all these attachments are really good and in themselves have a lot of positives, and I really enjoyed using each one of them. So yeah, I'd recommend using any of these attachments, and if you can, use them all, they're great. But then to the camera itself, it was really good to use, and it provides you some really good 4K quality. But it's not up there with the big cinema cameras or some of the other digital cameras. So it's really good quality if you want to capture a dive and you want to go and capture the moment. But the quality is still really good for the size of camera, and in ease of use. That's one of the best things about this camera, is it's not big, it doesn't take a lot of room, and you can carry it with you anywhere.
What makes the Paralenz Vaquita really unique is its ability for depth colour correction, where it continuously colour grades the footage according to the depth. Overall, I was really impressed with the capability of the depth colour correction to grade the footage underwater. And you can see in the footage when the depth colour correction isn't on, how green the water is, but when you turn it on, it really does a good job of correcting that colour, even in some of the shallow waters where the light can be quite challenging. But the only thing that is recommended if you are using any of the camera equipment is make sure that the lights aren't on when you're using the Paralenz, because it will show up with darker red coloration. So that's one thing to take in mind, is making sure that if you're using the Paralenz, make sure there's no other lights, because of that colour correction, it will correct that and then put red into the footage. But overall, I was quite impressed with how well the depth colour correction handles itself within these constantly changing environments. And again, it's not easy to be diving in these areas where the water is quite often really green. And another bonus bit of the depth colour correction is it's internal, so you don't have to carry the range of red filters or different filters to make sure your footage is trying to match the surrounding environment. And overall then you can go back and do less colour grading when you're back home. So the depth colour correction is a really unique thing that the Paralenz Vaquita holds.
With ease of use, it's been great to use underwater, and again, the fact that it's just a scroll through, really simple, and you can easily change from video to then your custom settings, your custom 2 settings that you can set, and it's great. And again, with gloves, especially in the early part of the year when it's a bit colder, perfect. You can get a nice grip on it and turn it around and not worry about it not moving. So yeah, great, really nice usability. And again, you can see the screen at the back when you're shooting, so it makes it really easy to see what you're doing. And again, especially when you've got the pistol grip, it makes it very easy for you to see the screen, especially because it is then pointing slightly upwards, so you can always see what you're looking at through that little screen. So perfect for doing that. For the dive, if you want to set the GPS point of it on, so when you turn it on and you scroll to the GPS element of it, what I did find was it did take quite a while to locate your position. It may be where I am, and there might be less satellites on GPS, but it did seem to take a bit longer than initially thought. So it's recommended, if you do want to use the GPS location, that setting it on and then kitting up is probably the best approach to make sure it does find your position, because it does take a while for it to find its own and locate itself. But overall, I was really impressed with the camera itself. It does provide some great quality, makes it really easy to use, it has a variety of different settings, a great little screen on the back that you can make sure you're shooting right, and the range attachments just completes it together, providing you with the different opportunities of what you want to shoot, what you want to angle, and also trying to capture a lot of different elements with different perspectives and different points of view. That's been really enjoyed using those and trialing them out. And if you haven't, then if you want to find out more about it and what comes within the box, check out the Scubaverse video earlier in the year where I did an unboxing of the Paralenz Vaquita. And I hope you've enjoyed learning about the Paralenz Vaquita. I hope it's inspired you to then go out and get one yourself and just see how much that you can capture using this camera. And I hope you've enjoyed this video about the Paralenz Vaquita.